So today is February 11th. I'll be turning 30 in 5 days. I honestly can't believe that I'm almost there. This date has been hanging over my head like a rain cloud. I had therapy this morning before work, and my therapist asked me when I think about my father's words, what he said to me when I was 19, that I would die before I was 30 if I didn't repent and move back home and bring myself under his complete control and authority again. On a scale of 1 to 10, when you think about that, how distressing is it? And I said, when I really think about it, it's like an 8. And that answer kind of surprised me because I don't really talk about it very much. Only to a very small handful of people in my life, and even then not very often. But it takes up so much space in my head, especially as I get closer and closer to turning 30. There's this very anxious part of my brain, an underlying current of fear based on what he said to me. And even though I rejected the validity of what he said a long time ago, that trauma is still alive. It's very real and very powerful inside of my body. The trauma has existed so strongly in the present for me, even though I haven't physically seen my father or spoken to him in over 6 years. It's like he said those things to me yesterday. That's how trauma works. I grew up under the umbrella of protection. This is an authority structure used by many fundamentalist Christians for power and control. God is at the very top. The father is under God. The mother is under the father. And the children are under them all. No one is allowed to step outside of the layers of authority above them. If they do, they are not only sinning in the eyes of this worldview, but they are believed to be in grave danger. Because of their disobedience, Satan and his demons can attack and cause them harm, even death. This may seem like an extreme and even ludicrous set of beliefs, but I was born into them. I didn't question. My parents were the potter, and I was their clay. They molded me into who they wanted me to be: obedient, compliant, submissive. Whatever I was feeling on the inside, whether it was sadness, anger, anxiety, or fear, joy was the only outward expression that was acceptable. I became known as the girl who was always smiling. I danced, I sang, I did whatever I could to earn the love of my parents and their religion. My home life was unstable and chaotic. I was parentified, neglected, and emotionally abused. But there were enough good moments for me to believe what I had always been taught, that I had the perfect family. This is the house we were living in when all of that changed. A few weeks before my 17th birthday, my dad's affair was uncovered, and he claimed he wanted a divorce, shattering my idealistic image. He became violent and belligerent, always threatening to leave but never following through. This created a never-ending crisis, keeping us in a constant state of hypervigilance and torment.
So, it's 4:11 a.m. Tonight, Daddy was extremely close to walking out on us. He was screaming, as usual, whenever things don't go his way. I sat in his car, just me and him, and we talked, and he actually let me talk a little bit. You know, I kind of wish I hadn't. This is just gonna repeat itself. I don't know why I got him to stay. I know it's what Mom wanted. Go. I'm so tired. It takes up so much time and energy in this crisis. When will it end?
The summer of the year I turned 19, I couldn't take it anymore. I decided to move out to live with my grandparents against my dad's will. This was the first time I had ever truly disobeyed him, and he was livid. With his eyes full of rage, he unleashed a torrent of abusive manipulation. "You have stepped outside of the umbrella of protection," he screamed. "Terrible things will happen to you. You will get into a horrific car accident. You will die before you are 30. His words terrified me. Ever since I was little, he told me he had the gift of prophecy, a supernatural ability bestowed on him by God to tell the future. His prediction felt like a curse that would one day come true. My therapist also asked me, what is it going to feel like when I wake up on February 16th? And I've made it to the day that my dad predicted I wouldn't make it to. I imagine it's going to feel like a giant weight falling from my shoulders, something that I've been carrying with me for over a decade. I think it is going to feel so significant in a symbolic way. Yes, I have known that I am resilient, that I have made it through so much. But making it to 30, I think is just gonna solidify that resilience for me, and I can really claim it as my own. I'm going to be waking up in my home with the family that I have created for myself, with my husband and my daughter and my dog. And I think I'm gonna feel the most hope that I've felt in, I can't even remember how long. I think I'm going to be able to look at the next decade stretching out before me with so much possibility. My dad doesn't get to define who I am or how I live my life. I am my own.